Welcome back, Romantic Home family. I'm Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home, and in today's video I am so excited to share with you guys a step-by-step on how I'm decorating my dining room for fall. I'm bringing in some blues, as you all can tell, and I'm also going to be sharing with you guys this beautiful fall crown. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's totally free. I am a full-time content creator, and that helps me out so much. Currently, we have been doing an I Love Christmas series, and I have an amazing, totally dazzled, huge, bejeweled gift set that I'm going to be giving away on Saturday. Remember to check the community tab so you guys can find the winners of my giveaways. Thank you all for being here. It is a blessing and an honor. And without further ado, let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting and decorating.
For this DIY, we're going to create a beautiful floral fall crown. So I'm starting out with this headband. I wasn't crazy about the topper on it, so I'm going to take some fall foliage and leaves and simply twist them on with a piece of floral wire. And you want to twist it pretty tight, and then I'm just going to simply add some hot glue, and I added in some fall leaves. I want this to feel kind of like a fall fairy garden, just cottage fairy type of thing. Anyway, I think that these would be so cute and darling for fall pictures, or for your little fall little one, or for if you're a girly girl like me and you just need a fall crown to get into the spirit of decorating for fall. So I added a romantic floral to the front. Ooh, and it might not be a bad idea for a fall bride, especially if you're doing kind of a whimsical garden wedding, or even a country wedding. Anything that you need a fall crown for, here you go. So I also had these little fall hydrangeas, and I just picked everything apart, and then I'm adding it back in. So I took my wire cutters and clipped off the hydrangeas one by one. I cut my leaves, some of the smaller ones, in threes, and that way I could just make it look like it was blooming out. And you want to make sure the only thing with this is that there's nothing like pointy that's sticking out, that's going to be towards the head part. You could even add a piece of ribbon underneath, but I was able to keep mine pretty under control. You can see that I'm using my hand as I glue and just really pressing up underneath it. That way, nothing is moving around. And I did have about 2 pieces of floral wire that I kind of used to really get those base flowers in. And then once you have the base flowers in, it's really pretty simple to just continue to add florals, pick florals in. Now, the leaves that are cascading over, that's what gives you the base to add in those like fall berries and florals. And you guys can really get creative with this. You could do a Christmas one. You could do any fall colors that you love. Just really think outside the box and have fun with it. You could get as big or as little with it as you want. I wanted it to be kind of big, but not over the top big. Now, also in this video, I'm going to share with you guys decorating my dining room for fall, and we're going to do kind of a romantic Regency Bridgerton inspired decorating. And so I definitely had to have a fall crown for this decorating moment. So I hope you guys are feeling playful today, because we're going to have fun decorating my dining room and getting creative with it. So just get creative with it, go for it. You could even just create one of these to set out. You wouldn't even have to wear it, but I think it would be so cute. Okay, here is the finished product. The lighting makes it look a little bit more yellow than it is. It's really not quite this yellow, but I thought it turned out fabulous. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Okay, so I have my fall crown on, and it's time to decorate my dining room for fall. I'm starting out with this beautiful fall floral canopy that I created last season. It is so over the top, and I used 2 Dollar Tree pool noodles to create this. You all asked for me to share with you how to create a garden chandelier, so we're going to do it on a budget using Dollar Tree supplies and florals from Hobby Lobby. I'm taking 2 of these Dollar Tree garden gates, and I just zip tied them to the center, and then I'm taking a Dollar Tree wreath and zip tying that to the little garden gates. Next, I'm going to take a pool noodle, strip it down the center, and attach 3 of the pool noodle pieces to the center of my garden gate. I'm adding in this greenery that I found on Amazon. I actually decorated a friend's wedding and I had it left over. I added one swag to the top part of that and then another swag to the other side of that. The next thing I want to do is begin to pick in some pretty leaves to add into the little garden swag. Now, I did want to share with you guys, this is how it looks so far with just the greenery, but I realized that it was going to be hard to see the blooming part of the chandelier floral, so I needed to go ahead and attach it to the top part of the chandelier. And so what I'm going to do to attach it is to just simply zip tie 3 parts of the garden floral to the arms of my chandelier. And you guys can really do this anyway. If you don't have a chandelier, simply hang some hooks from the ceiling. Be sure to find a stud and drop some fishing line down. The next thing I'm going to do is add in some beautiful leaves. And this garden chandelier is inspired by the garden canopy that we did over at Jake's store at Bratton House Antiques. You all loved that video and asked me to create something on a smaller scale. So this is kind of my rendition of that, adding in my own flair with it as well. Now I'm picking in some beautiful fall leaves, and these have been collected from Dollar Tree, yard sales, Hobby Lobby, and even some weddings that I've helped decorated from. You guys, I have honestly not bought any fall florals or pumpkins this year because I had so much left over in my craft stash. Something that really helped me was to get everything out so I could see what I had. Now I'm going to add in some florals up underneath the beautiful chandelier floral. And I really just mixed in some beautiful purple and brown leaves with some white flowers. Some of these are even not fall flowers, so think about thinking outside of the box. So I'm using zip ties to zip tie my fall canopy up into my chandelier, and I had to use zip ties on about 4 prongs of my chandelier. The next thing I decided to do was to zhuzh it up a little bit more and go somewhat extra and add in some blooming wisteria blues. Now stay with me, don't freak out. I know it seems a little bit off maybe for the fall with the blue, but stick with me because we're going to do a fall blue tablescape, and it's also coordinating with that wreath, which you can't see in this frame, but it's over on my dining room door. It's actually the entryway to my studio, and it has blues in it, and it really turned out lovely. I was super pleased with it, and I'm also going to put this up and live with it. That means I need a couple days to kind of tweak it, maybe add ribbon, play with the tablescape and just see, because, doing a big fall floral and even in a whole room like this, it takes me some time to really pull everything together. So if you guys love to decorate, you'll probably understand what I'm talking about, where you kind of need to move things around. You need to play with things, see how they look during the day, how they look in the evening. So once I had the wisteria added, I decided I wanted to add a fall swag that I created also last season. I'm going to leave the link for these, the swag and the fall canopy. I'm going to leave a link in the description box for you guys. That way you can watch the full video. Now, I went to the thrift store and I was in search of blue fall tablecloths. I didn't find that, but I did find a blue bedding set. So I'm going to use one of the sheets that I washed and bleached thoroughly, trust me. And I'm going to put my Hobby Lobby tree up on a table, and I thought the blue was too much, so I wanted to just kind of soften it a little bit. So I'm taking this lace panel curtain, also from the thrift store, and let me tell you, linens from the thrift store, make sure you wash them and bleach them, but once they're good to go, you guys can really play with them and have fun, just getting creative, and it's just a way to change how things look in your home. A beautiful floral swag using a pool noodle. So I just cut one strip of the pool noodle. I left this pool noodle completely attached because I'm going to hang this around a tall standing lamp. I'm now adding in some beautiful greenery. I had this left over from a friend's wedding, so I thought, why not go ahead and use it? It's going to be the base of my floral swag. The next thing I want to do is hot glue in some pretty fall leaves. You can really create this type of swag for any season or decor. The next thing thing I wanted to do was go ahead and add in my bow. That way I had it added onto my swag and I can create the floral piece around it. I'm using this easy bow maker, which is really amazing. I ordered it off Amazon several years ago. You can also grab it at the thrift stores and craft stores. But basically this helps hold the bow. Especially if you have carpal tunnel like I do, and it's trickier to hold these nicer, bigger bows. So there's lots of tutorials online for the Easy Bow Maker and how you guys can make bows, but I simply added loads of fall ribbons, some from the thrift store and some from Hobby Lobby. Now I'm just going to tie it off on the center, and to attach into the pool noodle, I'm taking floral stems and bending them in half, adding some hot glue and just pushing them into the bow and the different florals. Also, you can add hot glue to the ends of your florals like I did with the sunflower and this pretty little Dollar Tree mum, and that way they will stay just a little bit better. Okay, so here's that fall swag. I also created this on a pool noodle, and I'll leave the link for the fall swag in the description box below. But I'm going to attach that to the tree. Last year I had it attached to a really pretty tall lamp, but the lamp was broken basically, and so I had to toss that. It was just a mess. And so I'm just running a zip tie through the back of this, and then I'm going to zip tie it to my Hobby Lobby tree. So this is just kind of a way that you can jazz up the corner of your dining room. So I love to use a lot of mood lighting. I don't like to use my overhead lights really at all in my home, except for when I'm trying to film, and that way you guys can see better. But you can tell it's a little bit dark and overcast. We actually were part of the big flooding, the flash flooding that happened, and our area was hit really, really bad. So please just say a prayer for my sweet area. Thankfully, I think everybody was okay. But there's a lot of damage to a lot of homes and vehicles and roads, and the community has a lot of cleaning up to do. So I stayed safe at home today. And anyway, it's just quite a bit of a mess, but I decided to decorate my dining room. Now I'm going to take the other part of this sheet set that I washed and bleached and is very clean now, that I picked up from the thrift store. I'm going to put it over my table for a tablecloth. And then on top of that, to soften that blue, because that blue is just a lot for me, you guys. I don't really incorporate blue into my decor. And I want it to be that soft Bridgerton blue, to where it's just a hint, it's not too in our face. So the lace tablecloth is helping. Once I have my tablecloth down, I'm going to add in these chargers. The gold one is from Dollar Tree. The second one is from Hobby Lobby. The blue one is actually 50 cents at Walmart. It is plastic, but we're going to lay a beautiful vintage china plate on top of it. So our guests will never know the difference that we cheated and used that. And honestly, this is really just for decoration. I love to set my table and make it pretty in my home. Something about it just makes me happy. And even though I don't throw a lot of dinner parties, me and my daughter, and we sit down and we'll have a nice dinner, or it's just fun to look at and change out tablescapes. Now I decided to add in this rustic Pier 1 table runner. What do you guys think with it juxtaposed against the blue? It's going to be mostly covered by the centerpiece, but I think that it's nice because it's going to bring in those fall florals, and it kind of dresses down the stuffiness of all of these different, the teacups and the vintage china and all of that. It makes it feel a little bit more relaxed, in my opinion. So I'm adding my china teacup, and then I found this beautiful set of glasses along with my china set at the thrift store. It was $50 for the china set, and I was in awe because I've been praying and hoping and dreaming for a china set for so long. And it was a complete set. The lady had passed and she had never used it, and my hope for her now is that I am going to use this as much as I can. Now these are those white pumpkins that we painted in my last video. Go back and check that out. I'm going to take a platter and lay this little fall floral foliage in the center. That way it doesn't shed all over my table. I'm adding in this blue chinoiserie vase and then just some Dollar Tree pumpkins. I'm trying to pick up the rust in the centerpiece and table runner, as well as the two blue pumpkins are going to pull in and tie in some of our blue. I also found this cherub candlestick at the thrift store. I painted it gold, and then I'm going to add a candle to that. And I think it's looking lovely. It's done on such a budget, you guys. And if you guys saw my last year, I went really, really heavy traditional. This year, I'm bringing back a little bit more lace, a little bit more romance, just to kind of soften things and add that lovely touch. The last thing I added was these thrifted candlesticks that I had painted gold to match my cherub, and then I had fresh blossoms from my butterfly bush that I put over in the corner in that chinoiserie vase. Here is the final look. The lighting was a bit off today, so hopefully I can get it in a little bit better lighting, but it is very cozy, it is very warm. I wanted it to feel like a romantic cottage, that the Bridgertons would come visit maybe in their, fall home or their garden home. This wouldn't be, as probably as high end as their fancy, large homes. My home is very small, but I like to make it look elegant and fancy in my own way on a budget. And so I hope you guys are inspired and know that no matter what size your home is, that it is beautiful because it is yours. And it can be an apartment, it can be a cabin, it can be a home, whatever home you have, even if it's just a little room, make it beautiful, do your best. I love going to the thrift store. It helps me find really unique treasures, and then I'll mix that in with some Dollar Tree, some Hobby Lobby, and just a lot of TLC. And the best way to repurpose your decor, which you guys probably will see me repurposing a lot of my decor, is by a coat of paint. And here's kind of that aerial view with the canopy. And what do you all think about the blue mixed in with the oranges and the whites? I feel like it's crisp, I feel like it's clean, I feel like it's unique and different. It gives us that subtle vibe. I also feel like it's perfect for a late summer. Since I am kind of decorating early, it is still kind of mid-late July. So it's kind of early, but it's okay to start bringing fall in because our kids are going to be going back to school, your grandkids, and I'm already having some of my florals are turning brown, probably because they're not getting watered enough. But I'm just saying that we're going to start seeing some hints of fall in our outdoors, and it's okay to start bringing that in. It's okay to pop that out if that's what you feel like doing, or you can just be getting inspired. And I love the romance of a lit candle. I, of course, only light them, when I'm attending them. I have everything else is flickering flameless candles. Those are wonderful. They're linked in my Amazon store, and they're so much safer for kids and pets. But that one little flickering candle just gives it that element of romance and grandeur, and it just makes it feel all cozy. And I am ready for some cozy. It has been so hot here, but actually we just got a huge rainstorm and it flooded our area. So again, say a little prayer for our area. We are okay. But there's a lot of cleanup and a lot of damage that happened to folks' homes and cars and businesses. And I will comment that I feel like this year's weather has been very extreme. My dad experienced some of the tornadoes that were down in Arkansas, and it's just been a lot, you guys. There's the original inspiration of bringing blue into fall with that original wreath. And here is my fall living room. With the living room, we're going pinks. And I feel like it's almost like each room is a different Bridgerton theme. Like this is more of Anthony and Kate with the pinks and the mauves. And then, the blues would be Lady Bridgerton, and that also kind of signifies her family. Now I'm just kind of panning around to my entryway table. I just threw out some pumpkins there. That is not a finished product at all. Here's my little terrier Benji Bear. He decided to dress up for you guys in his fall scarf. And I also set up my fall pillows. I needed to fluff those pillows, but you know what? A gal can only do so much in one day. He is fussing at me. He is ready for his walk. He's ready for his playtime. And I'm going to link the fall wreath in the description box below that we created. And also just go back and you guys can see how I did the fall planters and the fall mantle with the pinks and then transitioning it with the blues. Do you guys think that the pinks and the blues needs to somehow be mixed, or do you like how I've kind of got them segmented into each room? Drop your comments in the comment section below and let me know what you guys think about this traditional but kind of a spin on the traditional. I love y'all so much, and Benji Bear says hi and he loves you guys too.
So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafting and decorating adventure. I hope you all are inspired to get creative for your fall decorating, think outside the box, and truly go with what is in your heart for your style of home decor. If you love it, go for it. That is always my encouragement. I am truly a romantic at heart, so I'm bringing all the romance into my home this season. Remember, a lot of things that you can find at thrift stores or you can repurpose and reuse. You don't have to break the bank. I hope you guys are loving this beautiful little fall crown, and you create one for yourselves or your kiddos or your grandkids, or maybe even just to set around. I think they'd be cute for decor. So anyway, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribing is totally free, and I am a full content creator, so it really helps me out so much. I'd love to hear what you guys are up to, so drop a comment down below and let me know when you all be setting out some beautiful fall pumpkins or creating some fall wreaths. I do all of my home decor pretty much handmade, and I repaint things and I redo all my florals, so it takes me a while to set every single room. I will be doing a fall home tour for you all, as well as a Christmas home tour, and I can truly tell you that it's such a blessing and honor to share with you all my heart for crafting and decorating. I'm in the same little house that I was in at the beginning of my YouTube journey 6 years ago. We did repaint the walls in this two-tone gray. It's called Repose Gray with white, and then took out those carpets because living in a home for 20 years and raising kids, our carpets were done for. We did all that work ourselves, and then we had somebody come in and help us lay some laminate flooring. It really did give our interior of our home a facelift. So thank you guys again for being here. I am going to also share a quick little devotional with you guys. Okay, you guys have been loving this devotional. It is just a women's devotional. I grabbed it at the thrift store. In fact, my puppy dogs have chewed out the corner, but this particular devotional, this is our fourth one I think that I've been reading. It says change. So trust the God of change. Life for most of us is not a steady-paced stroll through time with a beginning, a middle, and an end. Like a well-constructed play, it's filled with change. We change schools, careers, homes, relationships, and images almost as casually as our great-grandparents changed horses. Not that all change is by choice. A marriage dissolves, cherished friendships change in character, or another person's choices cuts directly across our own, bringing us where we never wanted to be. A career change, voluntary or involuntary, may disrupt our lives. Financial losses sweep away our props. Even geographic change can be disorientating. For the believer, then, the question is vital. Is our God the Lord of change? Will he be with us in change, especially when it strains our trust to its limit? Ironically, while we trust him with our eternal fate, we may find it difficult to trust him for next month's car payment, a new relationship, or an unexpected turn in our lives. In the kaleidoscope whirl of our life patterns, it can be enormously reassuring to remind ourselves that God is unchanging. I love that. I, the Lord, do not change, and that's from Malachi 3:6. I love that because yes, especially in this time of life for me personally, I've gone through so many changes over the last 6 years, and even some of you all have seen it. My hair has changed from dark to light, and primarily because, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have just a ton of gray coming in. So my hairdresser added highlights. But that's just probably one of the smallest changes. One of the biggest changes has been my kiddos going off to college and not really being that really stay-at-home, hands-on mom. But I love the change as they have grown, and my relationships have changed and different things like that. So let's look and see some of the scripture on change. So related to change, it says, "Behold, I will create new heavens and a new earth. The former things will not be remembered, nor will they come to mind. But be glad and rejoice forever in what I create. For I will create Jerusalem to be a delight to its people." And that's from Isaiah 65:17-18. "By dying to what once bound us, we have been released from the law so that we serve in the new way of the Spirit and not in the old way of the written code." And that's from Romans 7:6. And then there's one more scripture that is listed in relation to change. "Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and there was no longer any sea. And I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, 'Now the dwelling of God is with men, and he will live with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and there will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain. For the old order of things has passed away.' And he who is seated on the throne said, 'I am making everything new.' And then he said, 'Write this down, for these words are trustworthy and true.'" So, amen. I love that. That was really great. It's something I needed to hear. As we all experience change, I hope this blesses your heart and that you are able to trust God with the changes going on in your life. And I hope this devotional blessed you. And I just want to thank you for being here. This is a moment in time if you're watching this. Drop your favorite scripture down below. Let's light up this comment section with beautiful scripture and goodness and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to be continuing ferrying around at my house now that I made a complete disaster of my craft room, and right in front of me where you guys can't see where I've been decorating this really over the top dining room, but it's what I love. It's how I decorate. Remember, you guys can always take my ideas and scale them down to suit your fancy. I thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna hug all of your hearts so tight. Embrace change and keep going. Remember, if you wake up and your eyes open, God has given you another day, so do the best with it that you can. I love y'all, and until our next video, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another. Let's talk to you guys very soon. Bye. Love you.